Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Flip my screen when y'all get a chance.
Inside the trenches.
Well, hello, somebody. It's time to move your body. Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, Big Favorite, and we are back in the building. That's right. Shouts out to, first and foremost, shouts out to everybody out there who've been giving me birthday shouts out all day. I know I've been liking a lot of y'all posts, saying thank you, but, I'm just thankful to the man upstairs for another year around the sun. Coming here with the birthday cookie cake. I can't do all that myself, so I had to holler at my CL and UP and Chris and Tobi to help me out on that. So shouts out to y'all. And then also a big shout out to all of our sponsors and our partners for the show, the Gordan McKernan injury attorneys. Listen, if you've been involved in any personal injuries, feel free to hit the G team up. That number is 504-800-8888. Get Gordan and get it done, baby. That is right. Health Nut System, Dr. Kendra, shouts out to the birthday wish you gave me earlier, too, on Facebook. I did see that, so big ups to you. Listen, nutrition plus wellness for athletes and your everyday Joe, ordinary person, somebody that's just trying to get in shape, want to better their life, this is the lady to call. Health Nut System. Visit stillbody.org. Dr. Kendra has worked miracles with me. CL had the guns out on every time an athlete comes on this show. He feel the need to wear tighter shirts around the arm to show off what Dr. Kendra has been doing for him. Big ups to her. And Conquer Sports Pros, baby. That's right. If you're elite, if you feel like you're an elite or you want to be an elite offensive or defensive tackle, hit us up at Conquer Sports. We got Coach Carnell Stewart over there. We got Coach Drake Nevis, yours truly, Coach Phil. Coach Phil has really been an asset to our team, getting our players stronger, more mobile. So if y'all want to, if you're in the New Orleans area or Baton Rouge area and you want to take advantage of what we have over here at Conquer Sports, visit csportspros.com. Well, fellas, FIFA is in the United States. Several new United States cities have been hosting this events, ranging from Kansas City, going on currently right now in Dallas. So it's just rolling, fellas. All of us could agree. And feel free, y'all. You might be that person. I wasn't even a kid that played FIFA on PlayStation. Just never really been my cup of tea. I am an athlete, so I do respect big-time athletes. So I'm familiar with like Messi and Cristiano and players like that. But, you know, it is huge. It is starting to become a big thing locally. We'll get into that in a second. Right now, man, Chris, Argentina's killing it. Lionel Messi is just top-notch. The U.S. is still in the conversation. You know, right now I think we're like ranked 9th. Right now it's crazy in Dallas, bro. I mean, my sister hit me up early. She said she had to work. She was hoping she was going to be there. But Chris, for my first question, I'll come to you. What does this mean for the United States? Do you see more states, more high schools, more professional teams coming to the United States to you know, make soccer a thing?
Well, low-key, soccer has always been in the forefront of American sports. I know we differentiate it by saying American football because the original football is soccer, and we do pay all homage and respect to that genre. I was just sitting here telling the guys that I really didn't get on soccer until I met my producer, Lorenzo Di Bonaventura, and he was a former soccer player before he became the #1 producer in American film, and he definitely pointed me in the right direction because I really originally didn't even understand it. I was so locked in with football, American football. But what it's doing for the States is really showing the support. We understand how wild soccer football fans get overseas, but we're seeing a lot of camaraderie going on in the States. We're seeing a lot of color coordination as far as soccer teams. We saw things going on in Atlanta, and now Dallas is the forefront of the American situation of football, which is soccer. And so it's definitely a thing to be mentioned. Even though, you know, obviously we're all pulling for the good old US of A. Shouts out to Brazil, you know, shouts out to Argentina and France. But, you know, I'm running with that old American flag, me, baby. So, you know, we shall see.
And as I mentioned to y'all earlier, they hanging in there. I had a chance to watch a American bout. Maybe this had to been Thursday, I think. They were in Kansas City. It was somewhere. I forget. Because like I said, this is my first year really following it. And we cut on local radio. You know, if you're here locally, you check out the ticket. Before the ticket come on, all of our announcers are talking about FIFA, the World Cup, the match out in Kansas City. But to me, fellas, I think something that stands out is the crowds.
Oh, sure.
And I think that's the test the temperature for us here. As we mentioned locally, right now the Shrine on Airline is being updated for a soccer team. So I look at things like that, even here locally. Rugby is a thing.
Yeah. New Orleans Go.
International sports. Shouts out to Tim Falcon, Mr. Falcon, and that organization. They were growing. I mean, they took a little hiatus this season, but they're coming back next season. But from 3 to 4 to 8 teams, with these different cities hosting, and I know we have 2 in Canada and 2 in Mexico as well. But I want to say it was like 8 cities here in the States, you know, ranging from Kansas City, L.A., Dallas, Houston. So you look at big cities like that. My question for you, Chris, do you see? And this is tough. This I don't want to call this a difficult question, but what I do want to call it is a fair question. Given the fact that New Orleans is a tight city, we have hosted sporting events before. Do you see, like, somewhere years from now, the World Cup being one of the cities here, New Orleans being a choice?
I wouldn't necessarily think it's a bad idea, but since this is such a football base and basketball base, especially football based city with a football based fans, and we really don't have like a lot of soccer fans and things of that nature. We don't have a big soccer fan base or a professional soccer franchise. I would say that it'll be kind of tough for us to host the World Cup here due to those reasons. But, I mean, I think why not have it one time at the Superdome, you feel me? Like, to see how it goes. But I feel like due to those reasons, it'll probably be pretty tough.
I mean, we have the reason to have hope, and we know Chris is a little younger than us, but if you guys can remember the Olympic trials that went on at Ted Gormley, we probably never thought that we have some type of Olympic events going on. Now, granted, it wasn't the actual Olympics; it was the trials.
Mid-90s, huh?
Yeah, it was the trials going on at Ted Gormley. So, and of course, I live in that area of Ted Gormley City Park, and I do see them playing soccer every day at Pan Am Stadium, and I do mean every day. I do see them playing soccer on all the soccer fields. On Harrison in City Park. I mean, they might be 8 soccer fields, and every one of them are filled with 2 teams playing. So, it's here, but as far as that level that we're talking about, because we also know that Dallas is a very large land-based city. So is Atlanta. So they do have the parking. They do have the facilities, if you will. But like Fave said, the shrine is being worked on, and maybe that's a situation. I don't know where they would park at, but, crazier things have happened. So we'll hold out hope because we know even 21 years after Katrina, we have not really made it back here in New Orleans. So we need all the notoriety and all the travel money to come here to support what we're trying to do. So, let's just keep our fingers crossed, gentlemen. Let's just keep our fingers crossed.
Nah, Chris, you're right. That's all we really can do. Now, obviously, me being an 80s baby, right, I don't vividly remember, but when I was born, the World Fair was here.
Oh, sure.
Right?
1984.
84, well, a little bit before I was born. I got here in 86.
The gondola.
So that was, what they had, the tight rope, the rope.
Yeah, that's the gondola.
The gondola.
Yeah.
So that was a thing here in New Orleans, but I know that was years ago. But
Happy belated birthday, by the way.
Oh, man, appreciate you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
y'all want to sing it now or sing it later? What y'all want to do?
Hey, man,
Stevie Wonder style. Come on. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
He about to, come on. Yeah.
Birthday. Hello, somebody. Happy birthday. And I got my Stevie Wonder glasses on. How about
I
that?
see it. Hello, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
No, all love, brother. We appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Man,
Yes,
100, dog.
We would not be here right now if it wasn't for Marlon Fave, right?
Amen.
And his wonderful family.
Amen.
So we are very grateful for you, brother. That's for sure.
Nah, I appreciate y'all, man. That was real, dog. I appreciate the birthday love, the wishes, and the vibe, man. We come in here, man. It's our studio lit up even more today.
Right.
We got it's just good atmosphere in here. We got some good stuff to talk about. So I appreciate y'all 100. But I do see the challenge. What we're doing it here. It's cool if it's just an American sport, right? If it's just football, because we know worst case scenario. Let's say, for instance, if it is the New Orleans Saints, and let's say Baltimore Ravens. I'm just picking the AFC and the NFC team. I'm not. Hey, we're gonna talk NFL in a little bit here. I'm just throwing that out there. But what I'm saying is the city packed with just that. This is a world event. So I know Atlanta. Look at the cities: Atlanta, San Francisco, LA, Dallas. Cities that's big enough to take on this magnitude of an event. So I do think, you know, to y'all's point, it would be a challenge. It would be fun, but it'll probably have to. Maybe when our train system is put together between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, and then have people can stay in Baton Rouge.
They could park up there and travel down.
Yeah, on the train, bro, because it's just you start thinking of the parking in an event like that. But I want to ask y'all that. Y'all hit us up right here on the ESPN Baton Rouge's YouTube Live. Give us y'all comments. Do y'all feel like New Orleans could host a world event? I think it would be a challenge. My co-hosts think, you know, with the should I say, flavor of soccer coming into the United States. Now, on the flip side here, I know we got a couple minutes left in this segment, 5 to be exact. But on the flip side here, y'all, I see the play where just like we see American football, and it's a big thing here, with the growth of the international players here in the States, we see what we see. Every time we go play a flag football game for the Turkey Bowl, or whether we're putting together the pros versus politicals, whatever's going on, there's soccer players out there too.
Yeah, for sure.
Every time. I don't care if we're in Algiers. I don't care if we're down there at down in Jean Lafitte, if we're at what park we did that at? Estelle Park. My mind slips me. Shouts out to Tim Kernan, Byron Lee, all the crew.
That was a great
game. Derek Shepard too. But yeah, that was
Carlos.
You know, that Silos, shouts out to Carlos and Wagner, all the supporters for that event. Two Fat Vegans, our homie over there, Jersey Mike. We had some
steak,
fun.
Man. They still talking about that salad.
I can't believe it was a meal that simple. Steak Man came out there was because, you know, it was a health food event. So we wanted that initiative to have healthy meals and 60 minutes of just cardio working out. So Steak Man, I'm gonna come out there with some baked chicken, some string beans, and a salad. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, baked chicken. I started thinking like the little Thanksgiving plates, the dry ones. You know what I'm saying? Sure, boy, that baked chicken was off the chain. Didn't need nothing. I'm telling you, bro, it was pretty good. Steak did his thing. All right, y'all. While we're in the city of New Orleans, we got a couple minutes right here. The Ninth Ward Project did break ground. Shouts out to Todd and the whole crew at Canes for that. That's big for the community. CL, I won't come to you first on that one because, you know, you're a son of the city. You stay in the heart of the city or within the area of it. So you'll be around the city park. You'll be around the Audubon Park. You know about the Fly. When you think of even New Orleans East, the Dreamfield, do you see like that type of impact, Dreamfield, when we did the Nike event there? Yeah. Do you see that, or do you see something even bigger with this Ninth Ward Project? Well, Shy was just talking about that. Shy said he helped.
He couldn't wait.
Yeah.
And I think we all couldn't wait because this initiative happened a long time ago. I was blessed to actually interview the great Marshall Falk, and when he first initially spent the money to have ground broken in the Lower Ninth Ward. I am a child of the Lower Ninth Ward, Russia Blade and Catherine. Shouts out to my mother, a graduate of Carver University, class of 72, that they still get together every year.
That's fine.
You know, so the Carver community is so ready and willing to get this going. But it's not just a football field. And we understand the significance of Field of Dreams and how if you build it, they will come. But it's actually a sports complex to where multiple sports can happen. A track for track and field, once again, actually a football field, you know, a soccer field can also be created inside of this. And you can actually hold sports at night because there will be lights and there will be construction going on very soon. Believe it or not, the Ninth Ward actually has room for such a facility, and it helps rebuild the Ninth Ward. It helps bring more, because when you actually have an actual event space, here comes other businesses. So now we have businesses that want to come in and facilitate the people that will come to not just Carver games, not just soccer games, not just track and field, but people that will come bring events like like pros versus politics, like we held not too long ago. Imagine us bringing that game to the lower ninth ward, well, the upper ninth ward, and that would just be a great initiative. And once again, shouts out to the great Marshall Falk, one of the true stars of the lower ninth ward, and now the head coach at Southern University.
Yeah.
Chris, real briefly, you have anything you want to say about this new project here in the ninth ward? I think even job opportunity is something.
Exactly.
Bring more of that, like CL was mentioning, just making the community better. Your thoughts on the ninth ward project here?
Man, I'm all for it. You know, so I'm all about making the community better, and it's great. I mean, this is why you love the city, right? Everybody just getting together and just helping each other out, making the community better, making the city better, and just making everybody be happy. And yeah, I mean, I'm all for the support for sure. I'm all for that.
Yeah, well, it's growth, y'all, and I know I talked about Jeff Cheller last week. We had our alumni week at West Jeff, but you do see the shift in the atmosphere, right? Just bringing back more fun, good times, bringing more sports in communities will help the communities, period. Give young men and women something to do outside of just sitting around and having idle time on their hands. So big ups once again to Raising Cane's for helping build that project out in Ninth Ward. Like I said, we got the New Orleans East, Dreamfield, Drew Brees, Tyrann Mathieu, Nike, the NFL diving in on that. That was huge, and we just going to continue to do what we do, man. That's big. And like I said, big ups to y'all out there. You know, if y'all want to give us any updates on the World Cup, as I mentioned to y'all earlier, right now the leaders are Argentina. You got France. They got a deep roster big in this tournament. Spain, England, Brazil, Germany, Portugal, the Netherlands, and then the United States, and then Mexico. So we hanging in there. But again, this is something big, something fun. Nice segue into football season, right? This will be wrapping up, and then your blank will be looking at OTAs. So, we got Essence coming through here soon. So the summer just won. That's why I like
maybe you'll perform for Essence.
The right spot, bro. Right, summer, then boom, that next weekend, and then bam, here we go, Essence Fest. So yeah, big ups to y'all. Well, look, y'all, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna take a look at the SEC West. Let's look at a couple of those rosters. What we think these teams fare out. Just from a preseason look, where these teams fare out during the football season. And once again, big shout out to the Gordan McKernan Injury Attorneys for sponsoring this segment. Remember, we're here in the New Orleans area, live and well. You know we rolling. Come on, you gotta get that Gordan. Come on, y'all hear it?
Come on.
Oh,
Good.
Birthday dance on the Gordan song.
Personal injury.
Done.
Oh, done. Consider it done, baby. Get Gordan and get it done. 504-800-8888. Hit us up, New Orleans. We got y'all personal injuries, whether at work or in a car accident. Get with the G team, and they're going to get it done. Well, y'all don't go nowhere, baby. It's Inside the Trenches. We'll be right back here live at the Loyola Studios in New Orleans. We'll be right back, baby. It's Inside the Trenches here on ESPN Baton Rouge. Hello.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Hey you, what's up? My name is Marlon Big Favorite, Super Bowl champion and national champion. And here are the top 5 ways to stand out for college recruits. Number 1, explosive first 15 seconds on your highlight film. Listen, attention spans are short nowadays. You got to be able to catch their attention right away. So that big hit, make sure it's at the top of that tape. Number 2, consistent game stats. Each week, have your stats updated. If you had 4 tackles for loss and a sack, you need to make sure that's upgraded on your social media. Number 3, strong GPA plus test scores equals college scholarships. Gives you more opportunities. If you have the high grades and if they could get you some extra funds because of your test scores, that is huge. Number 4, positive attitudes coaches can trust. If you have a positive attitude and you look like you could be a nice locker room guy and build a team up, coaches love that. Number 5, hustle on and off the field. So just as well as you're out there making tackles or touchdown catches, you need to be active in your community. A lot of you guys want NIL brands. You need to be able to establish yourself out publicly. And that's definitely key, baby. So look, if you're serious about being recruited, go to csportspros.com if you want help getting a football scholarship. Hello.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
De las trincheras.
Well, hello, somebody. It's time to move your body. Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon Big Favorite, and it's the birthday. Oh, come on, it's the birthday. Yes, indeed, I'm enjoying myself with my co-host, you know what I'm saying, my engineers in here, producers in here having a good time. We all off the cookie cake. Shouts out to my son, Titan, for not eating all of it, leaving us some of it. Hello,
Titan.
somebody. So, as I mentioned before the break, we just really wanted to focus on the SEC West. A couple of teams, I picked 4 teams to talk about, teams that might stand out in the SEC West this year. Lil Chris kind of brought some to our attention, talking about, man, it's crazy that LSU won't see Alabama every year. I felt like that's a rivalry that should have stuck around. But I really want to focus on these teams going into this season. With the transfer portal, with coaches being able to manipulate the transfer portals better than others, we're seeing different teams every time. Mm-hmm. Who in the world, if you go back to the beginning of, let's say, August, who would have thought Indiana was going to win the national championship?
Nobody.
And if you're lying, you're flying, straight up, because And if I'm lying, I'm flying straight up. And if you feel like you did, I need to fact check that. Where you said that you had to have posted that on a Facebook post or Instagram or something. I want to see that, but nobody saw that coming.
Not even the people in Indiana. And I ran across some people from Indiana earlier this summer. The one thing you would give credence to is the fact that the way they recruited, how they brought in players 24, 25 years old with a lot of skins on the wall, played a lot of football, so you know they would be relevant. Now, as far as winning the championship, going in the championship, I'm like, Fave, you gonna have to prove that one to us, because they definitely wasn't on the lips of the United States. But shouts out to Indiana. You know, they deserve to have the right to be mentioned with the top teams because they did pull it off. Played a great game against Miami in Miami. I think people tend to forget that game was in Miami, in the University of Miami's home stadium, and they snatched that game away from them. And shouts out to everybody, man. Those 26, 99. You know, of course, it's Monday. I can't think of names right now, but you know, they represented for Indiana. They represented for the Hoosiers. They represented for the old Indiana coach from all those years, the basketball coach, though. So it's an honor, sure.
It is, and they're just the epitome of when you look at a team, Chris, that has to put it together in the off season, spring ball, bring in the right guys for the portal. It's tougher than building an NFL team, right? Because you could draft your guy, have that guy on the roster for some odd years, build around him, and put together a team. When you start to look around the SEC West, what team really stands out to you? Like, if it's like, all right, boom, this team stands out, and this is why.
The team that stands out to me in the SEC West.
SEC West.
Is the LSU Tigers.
All right. What do you know?
Because, I mean, we have a new head coach, new system, new continuity, and we got all these guys from the transfer portal and getting all these recruits now. I'm very interested to see how Sam Levin's going to play this year. I'm very interested to see how the run game is going to go this year. I'm very interested to see how the revamped offensive line is going to play this year. And I'm not going to worry about the defense. We got Blake Baker, and we always going to have talented defensive players. So I'm just intrigued to see how the offense is going to do this year with Lane Kiffin.
And see, I think that's the thing for LSU, and that's that comfort spot is the defense. The fact that, all right, I don't care which quarterback has the hot hand. You know, Sam Levitt comes in. He's projected to be one of the top quarterbacks in the country this year, right, in NCAA. But we have enough backup at that position, at the running back position. But for LSU to have a DJ Pickett at the cornerback position coming back, for them to be able to reshape what Blake Baker was able to do, and they say the defense was the noise in spring ball.
Right.
Your thoughts on LSU and their defense, that comfort, that blanket.
Well, it's to be mentioned because, like you said, Blake Baker is coming back to be the head of that defense. We know Corey Raymond will have those defensive backs doing their thing. Oh, yeah. For me, it's the fact that we have young freshmen like a Lamar Brown coming in and going to get time on that defensive line. Like a Richard Anderson from New Orleans coming in as a freshman, getting time on the defensive line. And everybody knows all-world, my favorite LSU Tiger by far, hands down, since Marlon Fave, right, Deuce Gerald, number 99, will make an impact this year immediately. He will sack Manning when they play Texas. He will probably reach for the limits of freshman sacks this year. And I'm putting it out there because not only does he lead the state of Georgia in sacks, I'm sure by the time his career is over in Baton Rouge, he will be one of the top sack leaders to go out there. So the challenge is not for him. It's a challenge for y'all to pay attention and watch this man go to work.
Yeah, he's definitely made a lot of noise in spring ball. I heard a lot of not only the coaches, but the players giving him praise, and just the different beat writers and the people in the area saying. And we saw the evidence. I sent you the clips.
Oh, sure.
from him doing the one-on-one.
It's new to them. It's not new to us.
It's not
We
new
know.
to us.
Yeah, we know.
And, because he sat here right here on the show before the summer, set a achievable goal and was able to do it.
Right.
Now, just to switch gears, I'm going to come back to the Tigers, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. But just to switch gears here for a minute, y'all, when you start to look at Texas A&M, that's a team that, they do lose a guy like Casey Concepcion at the receiver position, but you do have a Marcel Reed coming back.
Yeah.
To me, when you start looking through the SEC at the different quarterbacks, when you start paying attention to what we anticipate Sam Levitt to do in the SEC, what we have saw and what we know from Arch Manning, went through the ringer, going into this junior season, is projected to be drafted high, coming into this season if he decides to leave, because he does have another year of eligibility if I'm not mistaken. But I'll come to you first, Chris. When you start to look at Texas A&M, is that our biggest threat in the SEC West for LSU?
I say they're one of them. I mean, they did lose some players. They lost Le'Veon Moss, KC Concepcion. But I think this team could still be a threat. I mean, their defense was really, really good last year. I expect them to be good again this year. They got, like you said, Marcel Reed coming back. Head coach is still there. I think Texas A&M, they could definitely make some noise in the SEC West.
Well, Texas A&M has always wanted to be in the forefront of the college football, especially when they moved to the SEC and wanted to have their name on the front of the list when we talk about SEC. They definitely spend the money to make sure that their name is mentioned. There's obviously a reason why the helmet says ATM. So that's an inside joke.
They have one of the highest paid rosters in college football.
So they finally got it in the back just now.
Oh, yeah.
So,
they
yeah.
got big ATM
So,
over there.
so they don't mind spending the money to be the big guys in the SEC. But I believe it's about consistency.
For sure.
Reed has to show up every day and be the man. Now, they do have a decent running game. I won't front on that. They do have a decent running game with Reuben. But will they stay consistent? Because a lot of times in football, and especially in today's college football, if they run the football 3, 4, 5 times, it doesn't work. Now they're passing it for the next 7, 8 times. So I think for Texas A&M, it's consistency. Obviously, I'm familiar with Texas A&M. The young Noel Ellis, the second, actually went to Texas A&M. So I spent time as an Aggie myself. Even his teammates, Manziel and Mike Evans. So I'm familiar with College Station, and everything that goes on out there. They do have the huge stadium, Kyle Field, which they spent major money on.
Yeah.
Over 100,000 plus at that stadium. So they're ready to be on the forefront of everybody's list, but it's about consistency for them.
Now, I got to talk about Ole Miss. We play them on the 24th at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin goes back to Ole Miss. We know about all the controversy with us signing him at the end of the season. We spoke about how we don't like how the calendar is set up, right? You got to make a decision now before the recruiting, and that kind of messed up. And we know now his heart was at LSU, how that kind of ruffled things up. So Ole Miss does have a lot of returning starters coming back next year. Some guys that really stood out on their team last year.
Trinidad Chambliss.
I mean, we got to start from there, and then
I think
we
he's
still
the
got
best quarterback
Kawhi
in the
Lacey
SEC.
coming back too.
Yeah.
So those two players right there alone are going to be motivated for this game.
Yeah, for sure.
So on and so forth. CL, I'll come to you first. September 24th, it's going to be hot. Oxford, Mississippi, LSU versus Ole Miss. Very early. We're probably going to talk about this 10, maybe 15 times before this game is played. So very early, what do you want to see out of that game? Outside of LSU winning, right, what's something you want to take from that game?
I want to see LSU embrace the role of villain.
Yeah.
I spoke about it on previous shows. We're not the world's favorite anymore. They're not happy about the Lane Kiffin situation. They're not happy about how he's twerked that portal. They're not happy about how he left Ole Miss. Ole Miss is not happy about how he left Ole Miss. So the perception of LSU is not the beloved state of Louisiana, how we do. They don't want none of our jambalaya this time around. They don't want to try that burl alligator, that barbecue alligator. They riding with the rebels. So I want to see LSU overcome that stigma. I want to see us do what Lane Kiffin does, because a lot of people talk a lot of trash about Lane Kiffin, including myself. But what I do know about Lane Kiffin is that when he is the head coach, the team that he coaches leads the SEC in rushing. So I want to see Harlem Berry run that football. I want to see Caden Durham run that football in a hostile environment. And when I say hostile environment, baby, I'm talking about Confederate flags, painted faces, and a lot of pissed off people in the state of Mississippi.
Hey, and that's something we can anticipate. It's going down. Like the energy going into that game is going to be insane. I'm looking for LSU's defense to really show up and show out. I think the direction that Ole Miss is going to take in this regard is being able to use that quarterback option the way they did last year with Chambliss and really challenge our interior defensive line up front, the Dominique McKinleys. We talk about those youngsters that's going to have to play.
Anderson.
And Deuce. So that's going to be, to me, the biggest challenge, because I feel like on the outside we good. You got P.J. Woodland back. You got DJ Pickett. We fine. As far as offensively, Coach Lane got enough tricks up his hat, being able to be creative, not only with the offensive weapons he brought in, but trade has green.
Right.
I mean, what you gonna do?
You better double him.
You better believe it. So that's what I look at. I look at in our front seven on the run game, we shut them down there, including the option. We shut them down there. I mean, it's going to be a good look for LSU, and it's really going to put us in the eyes early on in the season as a national contender.
Right.
I want to switch gears a little bit with you, Chris. We talked about Ole Miss. We talked about Texas and Arch Manning. LSU, we're going to talk about them all day. We didn't talk about Alabama. I think this is a team that's still struggling with identity at the quarterback position. Shouts out to Ty Simpson, and his agent, because I don't think he had that blockbuster of a season to get drafted as high.
I agree.
I did hear the commentary, though, and from Coach McVay and that front office, they didn't want to go looking for their future quarterback a few years from now when staff is up. They want to be able to build a team in areas that's more significant, well, just as significant as the quarterback position. When you look at Alabama, this is a post-Saban era. It's still a talented roster.
Yeah.
Out of those teams we just named, LSU, Texas A&M, Texas, Ole Miss, and then we mentioned Alabama. Where do they fall at in those five? Are they to the front of the pack? 1, 2, 3, or at the bottom, 5. Where do you think out of those teams, preseason, where do you rank Alabama out of them 5 teams?
Okay. I'll put them below probably all those teams, honestly.
You real?
I'll probably put them above Texas for sure. Texas A&M, yes. Ole Miss, yes. LSU, yes. And even like Georgia and Tennessee, I'll put them below them too. I'm not that high on Alabama this year.
That's crazy. In CL, it's funny that Chris say that because the effect of the post-Saban era.
Right.
If Coach Saban was still coaching,
Oh, yeah.
they would be to the top of the conversation. It'll probably go, you said ATM, so Texas A&M in the top 3 somewhere. I mean, just from a money standpoint, and then Texas, and then it's the fight. Is when you put Alabama, LSU, it's just. But now in this Coach Kellen DuBois era, which he's standing stride, right? They don't look horrible.
Right.
This is a man that went to a national championship. Where do you rank Alabama amongst the other?
Well, I mean, honestly, guys, I think Alabama will be a little higher than we expected. For the simple fact is, we understand that Coach Saban is quite possibly the greatest college football coach in the history of football.
Amen.
Shouts out to the great Bear Bryant. We understand Coach Saban has changed lives immensely. We understand that Coach Saban has changed guys' position, like a Corey Webster. Corey Webster used to play wide receiver. He made him play DB, and he was drafted as a DB for the New York Giants. You know, Coach Saban has done so much, and I think it's when you're replacing an all-time great, you're going to have lows and you're going to have highs. But at the end of the day, like you said, Fabe said they still made it to a championship game. But at the end of the day, it falls upon the players. You know, we are in the NIL deal. When a cat like Ryan Williams, wide receiver, is getting paid $1 million to play football in college. So it falls upon the players. Do the players have the pride? Do the players have the resilience to be better than what we expect them to be? You know, gone are the days of Patrick Surtain II. Gone are the days of Mark Ingram. Gone are the days of a Minka Fitzpatrick. You
Julio
know, guys.
Oh, the Saban guy.
Yeah, guys coming in as freshmen and balling out as true freshmen. So it's going to take a little time. And coaching, I think this moment right here in time always speaks to the fact that how important coaching really is, because even years later after Coach Saban, he's still on the forefront and on the tongue of everybody, not only in the state of Mississippi, not only in the state of Alabama, but also in the South.
Yeah, and when you look at a team like Alabama, and you mentioned Ryan Williams, top receiver, going to be the first receiver off the board this year.
Well, no,
Jeremiah Smith.
Jeremiah Smith from
I'm
Ohio
sorry,
State.
second.
Yeah, he'd be
Second
number
off the
2.
board.
He'd be number 2.
Second off the board.
Depends, though. So, you know,
It
that
just
draft is
depends.
tricky. Whoever they like.
Yeah,
right?
it's whoever they like in the moment. You know, Jeremiah decided to sit out this season. Ryan might go out there and pull off some
He's definitely going to have more touchdowns than him. So if he sits out, so.
But, you know, you look at the junior year tape. So, yeah,
Right.
I get you on that one. But, you know, I look at, you know, Austin Mack, transfer from Washington, somebody that Du Bois is familiar with in the challenge with Keelan Russell.
Yeah.
So these two quarterbacks, you know, is he going to go with Austin? They still struggle with identity at quarterback.
Right.
I mean, you had Jalen Milrose, and then Ty Simpson just comes out of nowhere. He's just first-round draft pick, which we didn't really see it, but we understood it. Now they struggling with that. So you got an elite receiver, and we don't know who their quarterback. I mean, that's why I'm with Chris. That's why I put Alabama like 5th. I think when you start looking at the top of the SEC, some may argue Texas A&M, then LSU. We LSU. We down south. We feel like Lane Kiffin at least deserve to be mentioned that too. But then you got to look at Marcel's Reed.
Yeah.
Proven
Arch
quarterback
Manning.
in the SEC.
Right.
Arch Manning.
Trinidad Chambliss.
Trinidad, and that's at 4. Right. So did you want to go Trinidad, or do you want to?
Well, y'all know how I feel about Arch. You know, even though we sitting not too far, and all due respect to the Manning family, all due respect to Manning Family Children's Hospital, I'm still sitting here on ESPN Baton Rouge, ESPN New Orleans. I need to see Arch Manning show up and become the guy that everybody thinks that he will be. Now, granted, it's crazy that he probably will be the number 1, number 2 pick in this year's draft. But I, as an analyst, I, as a football fan, I am a football lover, I'm a football savant. I need to see Arch Manning take control of this offense and show that not only does he have the name on the back of his jersey, but the game in front of us.
And I had to agree with you. I mean, he's going to get a lot of respect due to legacy. You got both your uncles in the Football Hall of Fame.
Your granddaddy.
You know, one of the greatest Saints. So, and we've seen flashes of greatness to CL point. But, yeah, I do think this is a year that Arch does bring it together. But you have so many competitive pieces here in the SEC, so many competitive pieces. Marcel's Reed is not a pushover. Right. We went and got Sam Levitt. He's one of the top quarterbacks in the country. Yeah. So you Trinidad Chambliss, so you look across the surface, and it's like, yeah, we have to, view it from that standpoint. Man, we having ourselves a good time, bro. We're
Come on.
already halfway through the show. If y'all missed any parts of the show, y'all can go back and watch it right here on the YouTube channel. Check out Inside the Trenches with Marlon Favorite throughout the week for some of the shorts. You know, CL was, giving this review on the sweet vegan cupcakes. And if y'all want to check that out, it looks very good. Might want to make you go over to Bourbon Street and, or the area around the French Quarter. I don't want her to come get me mess up the addresses again.
Don't get us started.
But shouts out once again to Health Nut System, Dr.
Definitely.
Kendra. Thanks again for all that you contribute to the show. And remember, if y'all want to be Zen for life, get Zen for life in the natural way. Take her all natural. Feel the effects of it. I had one big meal today. Probably going to get a little snack tonight. But that's all I had today. And I heard a thing for that. They say I was looking a little skinny on stage. I ain't see it. You don't really see it when you're going through it. But shouts out to Dr. Kendra, stillbody.org. Check it out. Health Nut System. Let's get right for life, baby. Y'all stick around. We got Mario Jerez.
Super
Talk
Mario.
A little bit of, it's me, Mario. Talk a little Pelicans. Go around the NBA with him, and we'll see if he can stick around and talk some Saints with us.
Okay.
Y'all don't go nowhere, baby. It is Inside the Trenches, right here, recording live at Loyola Studios on ESPN Baton Rouge. Hello, somebody.
Inside the Trenches. Inside the Trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Hello, somebody. A remix. For the radio. From LA to LA, they yelling hello, fade. Big dog, smooth cat with some mellow waves. In the 10th grade, I used to rock the mellow braids. Private school at the time, they wanted us with fades. Then the dog went to West Jeff. Marsh Wolf, step, big with the pep step. You can call me Lucky Left, do it for my churn. I'ma do it for my neff. Do it for the hood when I march clear step. Hello, somebody. Yeah, I'ma move my body. Yeah, I'ma be somebody. You never know when you gon' need somebody. Hello, somebody. Yeah, I'ma move my body. Yeah, you gon' be somebody. You never know when you gon' need somebody. I gotta represent. Fave in this thing, I'ma make it make sense. You can shake a leg for me, move them arms for me. Chopper style with it, Oh yeah!
Love is the key. I love showing love. I love being me. I love meditating because it set my mind free. Tell them kids stay in school, ain't no love in the streets. Take them back to the good old days. We rock polos with the good old J's. From New York to New Orleans, they say, yeah, that's him. They like me. I want them to love me like they love Slim. But hello, they saying, Chopper, it's your turn now. Keep your foot on the gas and never turn down. But I remember being turned down. The ones who counted me out, oh, they gon' learn now. Oh, yeah. How to treat somebody. Never know when you gon' need somebody. If they hatin', let them hate. When opportunity come knocking your way, just remember to say, hello. Hello, somebody. Yeah, she about to work that body. But when you shake, can't be lazy. Told her go Kanye crazy. Oh, yeah. Hello, somebody.
Yeah, I'ma move my body. Yeah, I'ma be somebody. You never know when you gon' need somebody. Hello. Hello, somebody. Yeah, I'ma move my body. Yeah, you gon' be somebody. You never know when you gon' need somebody. Hello. Skip from that 504 to LA. Come on. Skip from that 504 to New York. Skip from that 504 to Chicago. Skip to that 504 to LA. Skip from that 504 out in Dallas. Skip to that 504 down to Houston. Skip to that 504 down south.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Well, there we go, baby. There we go. Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. Second hour of the show is brought to you by Conquer Sports Pros. That's right, csportspros.com. Visit. You're an elite offensive lineman, defensive lineman. We work with hybrid linebackers. Or if you play any position in football, if you're any athlete that need help across the board, you can play soccer, whatever it is you do, hit us up at Conquer Sports. We could connect you with the right people. Just visit csportspros.com. Well, yo, I think we talked enough football, whether it's FIFA or NFL or college football. We got more NFL to talk. But we're going to take a little break. You know, I want to enjoy my hoop dreams, trying to relive them at least. And in order for us to do that, to talk Pelicans, go around the NBA, we might as well call him our residential
Oh, for sure.
sports analyst. We got our
Sure.
homie, our friend, Mario Horaz, back on the show once again, baby. Y'all be sure to follow him. Mario_Horaz_3, right? I got it right?
You got it, man.
I'm still
There you
rolling.
go.
Look at that member still working at
Come on.
10 to age of 40, still
Mine
rolling.
is a
Look at me.
laptop.
Hey, underscores and everything, man.
Yeah.
Glad to be here. Gotta kick things off by saying Feliz cumpleaños to you. Happy birthday, Big Fave, which I'm sure you know this by now, but it's also Pistol Pete Maravich's birthday today. So.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Wow,
you can
that's
argue
an honor.
two of the better LSU athletes ever celebrating
Wow,
the B-Day
that's
today.
cool.
Right.
That's fire. You learn something new every day. Wow, that's gangster.
That
Shout
was
out
my
to
guy.
Pistol Pete.
I'm not that old enough to have known him, but I am a fan of Pistol Pete. We all know that he has a college record of 42 or 44 points a game.
And then incidentally
Before the
speaking,
three-point line.
right before the 3-point line, and
Very
of course,
important.
y'all know the Pete Maravich Center is where we do our LSU Sports Radio thing right in front of it, and so many stars went through there, from like Sylvia Fowles to Angel Reese, and I didn't even mention Big Baby, Tyrus Thomas, so you know,
Shaq.
just Shaq. You know what I mean? We got to mention Ben Simmons just cause.
Mahmoud
Yeah.
Raoul. Mahmoud Raoul.
Hey, we got Australia though, so take that, Ben Simmons, loser on Friday or whenever the soccer game was.
Oh yeah, we sure did. There we go. That's right. When we were talking World Cup earlier, that's cool. Man, it's so many different things we want to ask you about the Pels, but I think it's probably more appropriate for us to start off. Okay, so shouts out to Fletcher Macklin. I heard him this morning. It was about 6 a.m. this morning, but it was a 4 or 5 hour. So he was on.
Yeah, he was on it.
Late. It had to been like 2 o'clock in the morning, and he was just in shock about what's actually going on in terms of trade speculations. We've been hearing about Ja Morant. Just wanted to get your opinion on that in terms of how much weight does that hold? Is that a good fit, or what direction are we taking?
It's definitely worth having the conversation, I think, because a lot of people, think Ja Morant, the talent, the dunks, all his high-flying style of play, and they're like, give me that guy. And a lot of people see his injury history, his attitude, all the drama with the social media and the posting of firearms and stuff like that. Like, there's just a lot of pros and cons here, but he's a really good player. I mean, if somebody can come down and guarantee me, like, for sure, that you'll get 70 healthy games of Zion Williamson and Ja Morant, I'd probably want to see what that can result in, right? But I don't know if that's really going to be the case. And then you got to consider what you're going to give up. Like, I saw that video. Fletcher does a great job, but he was like, Trey and Ja would spread the floor for Trey Murphy. Are you sure you're going to be able to keep Trey Murphy in a trade like that? Like, you got to think what Memphis would want to get back. So it's something that I would definitely explore. I think the first thing you had to consider is the health. I mean, he's played in about 70 games combined the last 3 seasons. Maybe some of that is legitimate injury. Maybe some of that is just beef between him and the Memphis organization. So if the Pelicans is determined that he has a clean bill of health, if you can keep stalwarts on the team like Trey Murphy, then maybe you consider making a move. But if the compensation's not right, if you are going to have to give up a lot, I just don't know if I would do that for a guy that, much like Zion, your other star player, just hasn't been available recently.
Yeah. And once again, we're so grateful to have you, Super Mario. Very rarely do I run across a guy that actually knows more New Orleans sports than me, and by far, I can always say that Mario not only knows more than me, but by far has his finger on the pulse of what's happening in real time in real life. What I do want to ask you, my brother, is, how do you feel of a Ja Morant not only just coming, and I know you asked for the guarantees, but what does that look like for fears? What is that as far as maybe stunting his growth? Because obviously they play the same position. So we do have, and I wouldn't call it a logjam because I saw the trade proposal. It was DeJounte Murray, it was Poole, and it was Eve Nesey for Ja Morant and Cartavius Pope. So Pope being a wing, we still have the logjam with Zion and Queen together. And my question is to you, do you think bringing a Ja, let's just say for shits and giggles, let's just say he's all the way healthy, everything works out, do you see that stunning the growth of a Fears? in his second year?
Well, I think if Mosley can figure out how to kind of work him in, like if you play Fears off the ball a little bit more, then maybe you could make it work. And I wouldn't call John Morant a mentor by any means, but maybe Jeremiah Fears can pick up a thing or two and just alter his game a little bit so they can kind of mesh together. So I think you could make it work, but unfortunately, the trade that you just listed, to be honest with you, I think there's no way in hell Memphis would do that. I think that if you are going to make a trade, you're for sure going to have to get rid of either one of Trey and Herb. They're going to want one of those guys, starting caliber player, and then they're going to want a player with a higher ceiling, an ascending player. So I think you'd have to give up either one of Derek Queen or Jeremiah Fears. And that's when these conversations, that they had to be had, because I've seen a lot of potential trades for Trey Murphy as well that make absolutely no sense for the Pelicans. They're not going to trade him for a new washing machine and an extra big bag of chips, right? So you really had to make the salaries work, try to make sure the trade is beneficial to both people, and it would just be something that's really hard to do. To answer your question, I think Fears and John Morant can coexist, but you'd really have to get creative with the trade and really have to get creative with the roster to make that happen.
And, brother, you're so on it, and I respect you and how you come so prepared and ready with your information, especially about the Pelicans. Do us a favor, Super Mario. Give us a real trade that's respectable, that we could actually accept, that another team, even if it's a three-way trade. I know we talked about Brown from the Celtics. Maybe we'll have the conversation of Giannis in that three-way trade. But give us a real trade that is acceptable for New Orleans and is respectable for the other respecting teams.
Well, I think Ja is, if you're trying to go for like a big name, somebody who can really be a shot in the arm of the franchise, Ja is maybe your most realistic option. I've heard Jaylen Brown rumored a lot, and to be honest with y'all, and no disrespect to the Pelicans, I just don't think a player like Jaylen Brown would come here. I mean, president of the Players Association has a lot of pull when it comes to where he'll go. And
$300 million.
Exactly.
So smart, high IQ.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So just not, if you can get Jaylen Brown, then go for it. But again, you got to be realistic. And I think, like I said, whether you're getting a Ja Morant, if you're getting like a starter caliber player, you'd have to, I think, get rid of or pair away from probably Herb Jones, starting caliber player, one of the better defenders in the league, and somebody who I think is maybe a ceiling raiser, not a floor raiser. Like, if you have a team that's ready to compete and you add Herb Jones, that could be the missing piece of the puzzle. Somebody like the Lakers maybe would trade for him, right? So I think a beneficial trade for the Pelicans would maybe be him, one of the rookies, Derek Queen, and Jeremiah Fears. They gave up a lot to get Derek Queen, so I don't see that happening, but those are guys whose values are going up. So if you want to get something good, you got to give up something good. So I think probably Herb Jones, one of the two second-year players, and at least a couple first-round picks to get somebody the caliber of a Ja Morant.
And I guess the way I'm looking at it is, you look at Zion and Jai combined, the boys missed a lot of games. If I'm not mistaken, is if not neck to neck, more missed games than actually play games. The skill set is there, the talent is there. You got the chemistry. It's tons of things to look at why it would work. But I'm looking at our current roster, and I like the way it looks now. Sadiq Bey, we talk about, young players, older, mature players like Jordan Poole, a healthy Zion with these dudes. I mean, just the way the roster is right now, Jordan Hawkins,
Queen,
Fear, especially Fears. I'm focusing on building around them. Will a Ja Morant coming on to this team be more of a cancer or an asset?
Man, it just reminds me so much of Boogie Cousins back in the day. I feel like
shout out to Boogie, big.
We were having this same conversation about him, and honestly, it worked out pretty well. Like, before he got injured, those guys were playing really well. And you got to keep in mind what the Pelicans are, right? Like, they're a small market. They're not going to attract free agents. Do you trust, and I'm not saying yes or no, but do you trust Joe Dumars and Weaver and these guys to actually develop players, or do you want to try to accelerate the process and get somebody like a Ja Morant in here? It's a tough conversation, man. They're coming off of 2 really bad seasons. They're having trouble selling tickets right now. I think you would lean towards pulling the trigger and making a move like that, but it's a tough conversation, man.
Right. Well, I mean, sitting here, and shouts out to my personal family. As a Pelican season ticket holder, This season, believe it or not, the price went down 11%. But what happens if we trade for Jaylen Brown, a $300 million player? What happens if Ja and Zion actually plays together? Those tickets are going to go right back up. And don't get me wrong, I think you're 100% right as far as us being a small market and not a really landing spot for free agency. I do trust Joe Dumars, but I think the vision should be what Fave was alluding to, was that we should actually surround the younger players like a Fierce, like a Queen, with added pieces. I understand that we'll have to let go of probably a Herb or a Trey Murphy. I don't want to let go of Sadiq Bey. I don't want to let go of Fierce. I don't want to let go of Queen to get guys that have question marks about them. No question marks about Jaylen Brown. Definitely a million question marks about Ja Morant. Is there any other superstar besides maybe Giannis? Is there any other superstar that you think is feasible for the Pelicans in this situation for us to bring in and we could forge forward with the roster that we have now strictly structured right now?
Honestly, no. I think, honestly, no. I'm just being honest with you. I think your better bet is just to develop the players you drafted that you invested a lot in. Like, there's so much talk. The draft is tomorrow, and nobody in New Orleans even knows that it's tomorrow, right?
It's tomorrow.
Because the Pelicans don't.
Me and you know.
Exactly. And this draft is being talked about so much with Dina Basta and all these really good guys.
Well, we don't have a number one pick.
Exactly.
So that's another reason why. And this year, the draft is going to be, they're biting off the NFL. This year's NBA draft is going to be 2 days.
Yeah,
so the first round is going to be one day. The second round is going to be the next day. So I'm sorry, brother. Please continue about there not necessarily being a scenario that could forge us forward.
Yeah, got to make that commercial revenue, right? But it's just, I think your best bet is just developing that talent, kind of like we had the conversation with the Saints too. Like at least you have players that are ascending and getting better. You're not taking the risk of overpaying and bringing in these recycled guys. Like if they traded for Ja Morant and it didn't work out, that would be a freaking disaster. Like that would be a scenario you don't even want to get into. So to answer your question, no. I think if you can get somebody like Ja Morant and make it make sense, then yes. But if we're keeping it real, they're not getting Giannis. They're not getting Jaylen Brown. Your best bet is probably just to keep growing the team that you have.
I want to look, in lieu of the draft being tomorrow, I want to look around the league. You look at teams like OKC, the Spurs, the Rockets. Now you're looking at the Knicks. Teams that, Knicks really brought it back to New York, right? It was a big deal last week with them winning it.
Yeah. It's still a big deal.
You had like 5 rappers make remixes, Fabulous, couple of people.
Yeah, man, as an aside, before we keep talking Pelicans, I just want to say it's really cool to see Jose Alvarado get a ring.
Real talk.
There's so much love.
Bittersweet.
Yeah, there's so much love for him in the city, and I love Chris Paul. He's my favorite all-time player. He made me fall in love with the game of basketball. Don't get it twisted. I am a CP3 fan. That being said, it was a little bit of karma seeing Alvarado get the ring and Chris Paul retire without a championship with all the beef and Chris Paul trying to bully him in the playoffs, stuff like that, which is cool. They're competitive. They're going to have on-court beef. But if y'all remember, there was a soundbite where Alvarado said, maybe we didn't win the series, but he's always going to know my name. And then when the Suns eliminated the Pelicans, Chris Paul did something that I thought was really Bush League, and he basically pretended not to know Alvarado's name. He was like, Alvarado? I love Chris Paul, but I lost a lot of respect for him when he did that. And now Alvarado could say, you know my name now, man. Look at this ring that I have and you don't. So just wanted to shout out Jose real quick.
Alvarado's Villanova? What did he?
No, Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Boyville.
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart and
Bronson.
Villanova. Okay, I'm glad you brought up that. And he had Josh Hart, who, like you said,
former Pelican.
Another. We're looking at this from that lens, but I do want to spend a little time to talk about Jose Alvarado. I'll say your name correct, brother, because I saw him against 7'9" and 6 foot, and he just, I mean, that kid was getting frustrated. We watch him, play like he on the sideline and then sneak up and steal a ball.
Grand Theft.
He's just so Grand Theft Alvarado. He's just so competitive. I always root for the underdog. We trade him mid-season. Yeah. He go get a gift. I mean, I guess just let's give him his flowers.
Yeah.
Talk about Alvarado moving into next year. What's New York's vested interest in him?
I think he came up huge in the finals. If you kept up with him, which, like I said, I'm a fan of this player, he really struggled kind of cracking the rotation early on, but they had some injuries that helped them. And that game where they came back, the game 4 where they were down 27 points, he hit some
29.
big shots. Yeah, 29. He hit some big shots down the stretch. And honestly, bringing the conversation back to the Pelicans, that's something that they need. They need genuine players that always are consistent and play their role no matter what. Not somebody trying to come in and be the star, not somebody trying to, do too much. Like, they need genuine guys. Jose Alvarado is that. He'll be missed, and the Knicks would be very wise to not let him walk away.
I mean, and you're talking about Jose, like we said, we're giving him his flowers now. I put on New York, right? I put on a New York hat today, guys, in honor of Jose Alvarado. You can't really find a guy that's more of a fan of his than mine. I do remember when Jose was on 10-day contracts. I do remember when we got it. We gave him his first real NBA contract. It was $4 million. I actually have a Jose Alvarado jersey. I've actually worn it on the show. I've worn it to the stadium.
Nice.
The day he got traded, I will not lie to you guys, I was very disappointed. I was almost distraught because that's the type of energy. That's the type of need to and want to. I remember, once again, you're talking to a season ticket holder. I remember sitting in the stands, and when he came in, we would say, Jose, 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 Jose.
Yeah.
I was there, and to see him go to a team that obviously we all know I was a fan of the Knicks, especially back in '99 before the Pelicans were around, to see him actually not only go to a winning team, because obviously we suck, for him to go to a winning team, then to win the championship, then to be a player that had an impact in the championship, have the Puerto Rican parade. He's very Puerto Rican proud.
Yes.
That be in the Puerto Rican parade and go crazy in that, then turn around and go and be in the championship parade. Shouts out to his family. Shouts out to the whole culture. We do miss you, Jose, brother, and we wish the best for you. And it's just amazing. It's an amazing story.
And it was during the Cupid Shuffle, and shouts out to Cupid. It was the Cupid Shuffle in the locker room after the win. So that was cool, man. That was awesome. Oh, if y'all just tuning in to Inside the Trenches, I'm still messing with my table. To Inside the Trenches, we're joined by Mario JEREZ. Y'all be sure to follow him on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Mario_JEREZ_3. He's doing Belize. Saints, right?
Believe in Saints with Aaron Summers. That's right.
Aaron,
Okay.
yeah, we gotta holler at Aaron.
Shouts
Shouts out to Aaron.
Yeah, she's been awesome, man. I gotta say, y'all know she worked for the team a really long time, but she's been great, like booking guests, helping with the video stuff. Like it's really been an awesome experience working with her, man. Y'all should check out the show.
Yeah, she's a hard worker. Yeah. I've seen her put in, especially with those Pelican games. We show up every day, and she's sitting downstairs doing the show before and after, pre and post. So I know she's a grinder. So I'm glad to see you guys working together, because you guys are two Inside the Trenches favorites. So we're happy to have.
Would love to collab with you guys sometimes, man. Two of the better podcasts in the area. Let's make it happen.
It'd be an honor. It'd be an honor.
Let's do that. Hey, I heard that UP, bro. We got to go in the big room, bro. We got to get Belize and Inside the Trenches together.
Why not?
That'd be huge. Let's do it, y'all. Y'all heard UP and Aaron. We got to get you back on, too.
Definitely.
Man, it's so much to look forward to next basketball season, because now the Knicks are back relevant.
Yeah.
You still got OKC over there. My boy, SGA ain't gonna sit around. Right?
Yeah, I honestly hate those guys. Like, if I could be honest with you,
I'm not a fan of them either.
Number one, the style of play, like that conversation's been had much.
Flop GA.
Yeah, dude, and man, I was just happy not to have to watch that in the finals.
Right.
Like him doing that, all the free throws, and a lot of it is just envy. If I'm being honest with you guys, like that's a small market. They tried to take our team at Katrina.
We went to Oklahoma.
Weren't successful, stole Seattle's team, and now get to enjoy all this success. Like, screw those guys.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I do have a question for you, Mario.
Yes.
And obviously I have my ear to all the trade rumors. What do you think about a De'Aaron Fox coming to New Orleans? I don't want to lose DeJounte Murray because he is one of the players that does say that he wants to be a part of the rebuilding process in New Orleans. But what do you think about a De'Aaron Fox coming back home because he was born in New Orleans?
Good observation. I'm good, honestly. De'Aaron Fox, solid player, Sacramento Kings legend. I don't know why he didn't just dribble the ball out and went up for the layup in Game 3, whatever it was. That was a boneheaded decision. Good player, but just too expensive. If I'm the Pelicans, like I said, I'd rather either trade for somebody better or with a higher ceiling or just stay with what we have with the young talent at that position.
Well, yeah, man, Mario, thanks for the Pelicans news, y'all. We're going to take a little quick break, real quick, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit of Saints. Once again, shouts out to Conquer Sports Pros, baby, csportspros.com. If you're looking to get recruited, if you're looking to train here in the area locally, holler at our people. And once again, y'all, get Gordan and get it done. Y'all be sure to check out if you're any injuries, if you got hurt at work, whatever the case may be, call 504-800-8888. Get Gordan, get it done. And of course, I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the elixir fixer herself, Dr. Kendra. Y'all be sure to visit stillbody.org. Health Nut System is rolling. Be sure to get yourself together and ready. Well, y'all don't go nowhere, baby. We talked about the Pels, baby. That's one office off of Airline. We got to talk about the office next to him, baby. We're going to talk a little Saints. Let Mario stick around with us, and we're going to dive into the New Orleans Saints. It's Inside the Trenches, baby. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be back.
Inside the trenches.
So, believe it or not, Stephen A.
Oh yeah. Deli must have did this beat. Hello somebody. A remix. For the radio. From LA to LA, they yelling hello, fade. Big dog, smooth cat with some mellow waves. In the 10th grade, I used to rock the mellow braids. Private school at the time, they wanted us with fades. Then the dog went to West Jeff. Marsh Wolf, step, big with the pep step. You can call me Lucky Left, do it for my churn. I'ma do it for my neph. Do it for the hood when I march clear step. Hello somebody. Yeah, I'ma move my body. Yeah, I'ma be somebody. You never know when you gon' need somebody. Hello somebody. Yeah, I'ma move my body. Yeah, you gon' be somebody. You never know when you gon' need somebody. I gotta represent. Fave in this thing, I'ma make it make sense. You can shake a leg for me, move them arms for me. Chopper style with it. Oh yeah! Love is the key. I love showing love. I love being me. I love meditating cause it set my mind free. Tell them kids stay in school, ain't no love in the streets. Take them back to the good old days. We rock polos with the good old J's. From New York to New Orleans, they say, yeah, that's him. They like me. I want them to love me like they love Slim. But hello, they saying, Chopper, it's your turn now. Keep your foot on the gas and never turn down. But I remember being turned down. The ones who counted me out, oh, they gon' learn now. Oh, yeah. How to treat somebody. Never know when you gon' need somebody. If they hate, let them hate. When opportunity come knocking your way, just remember to say, hello somebody. Yeah, she about to work that body. But when you shake, can't be lazy. Told her go Kanye crazy. Oh, yeah. Hello somebody. Yeah, I'ma move my body. Yeah, I'ma be somebody. You never know when you gon' need somebody. Hello somebody. Yeah, I'ma move my body. Yeah, you gon' be somebody. You never know when you gon' need somebody. Hello. Skip from that 504 to LA. Come on. Skip from that 504 to New York. Skip from that 504 to Chicago. Skip to that 504 to LA. Skip from that 504 out down. Skip to that 504 down to Houston. Skip to that 504 down south.
inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Well, hello, somebody. I know y'all out there moving y'all body. And shouts out once again to everybody for y'all birthday wishes. It means the world to me. Y'all. This the last segment of the night. I think I'm gonna still turn up, right? You know, they say you go up on a Tuesday. Might as well go up on a Monday.
It's your birthday. Turn up if you want to.
Yeah, I'm extended. A couple of my homeboys hit me. I'm like, man, your birthday. We couldn't do the Father's Day, right? You know, because everybody's Father's Day. And then today on Monday, so it's like, man, you got to turn up Friday. So yeah, that's turn up gonna be real Friday. But once again, thank y'all for all of the birthday wishes.
Better get the invite to that.
Yeah, sure, straight up. Hey, now look, I've been turned up the last 2 weekends. Now it was between John Eric and West Jeff alumni weekend. Skip tried to get me to come to Sarah T. Reed. I'm like, Skip, I ain't got it in me. Nah, bro, that would have been cool. Though. They had a little rain out there too, but big ups to him and Jude. Okay, so the New Orleans Saints.
Who that?
OTAs has happened. The team will get back together. July 27th. 27th. One of those dates to start the fall season off. I didn't get a chance to make it to any of the practices. Did you go to any practices?
Not till he is cracked.
I was at most of them.
Okay, well, Mario, I'm glad we got you on the show there. I
It's always smart to bring Mario on.
Always smart to bring Mario on. So, Tyler Shucks heading into year 2. We're talking about somebody who's developing into the face of the organization. I think for right now, you got to thank Cam Jordan coming back 1 year, leader of the team. What improvement did you see out of Shuck? Just, it could be something subtle like maybe quarterback pocket poise in certain drills, or, man, it seems like the team chemistry between him and the receivers are much better. What looks better out of Shuck here in going into year 2?
I think he just looks a lot more controlled. He looks like an NFL starting quarterback. And don't get it twisted, man. Like, if we're having this conversation, we have to keep it real. Everybody's excited. What he did his rookie year was very, very impressive. Second place Rookie of the Year voting, and only started 9 games. Like, that's some good stuff. But he still hasn't played a full NFL season. He still has plenty to prove. He still has to show that he can be not just a starting quarterback, but a winning quarterback in the NFL. That being said, you can see the difference out there at practice, man. Remember this time last year, we were on this show. We were having to talk about the quarterback battle between him and Spencer Rattler. He was really trying to learn the ropes. He was really looking like a rookie out there. But now, even like small things, like if the defense has a good rep, he checks the ball down. He has a lot more rapport with his teammates. You see him like laughing, slapping guys on the butt. Like you can tell that he's entrenched as a starting quarterback, and that was not the case last year. And you don't want to take too much away from these practices. Like y'all said, they're not even in training camp yet, but you can definitely see the growth and the maturity in Tyler Shuck.
Well, we appreciate you coming in, brother, especially with your Saints shirt on, the one that I don't actually have.
There you go.
The
67,
original
bro,
gold,
yeah.
the gold that we supposed to be wearing, but that's another story for another day. Me personally, I noticed last year, and obviously the creator of the Who Dat Travel Nation, so we go to all the away games, and we do see the following of the Saints team, regardless of the record. Me personally, I'm excited for the actual players that we have on offense. We have a lot of backups now. We have backups to the backups. Last year, we had a lot of guys coming. We had a lot of injuries and a lot of guys coming off the practice squad, coming off the couch. We have backups at every position. Tell me the one thing that you are excited about, because for me, it's the depth. What is the one thing you're excited about right now?
I think offense, more explosive offense, because as impressive as Tyler Shuck was, he had some game-winning drives. He had some clutch moments late in games, which is nothing to sneeze at. But I feel like the defense is a little bit underrated heading into next season. And the receiving core as well is a little, I don't know if underrated, but they definitely address that position. And no disrespect to guys like, Ronnie Bell and Kevin Austin Jr.
Mason Tipton.
Yeah, Mason Tipton of the Tipton Hotel Fortune. But those guys were making plays late in the season last year because Tyler Shuck was just giving the offense that much more improvement. Now you invest. They drafted 3 wide receivers for the first time since like the 1980s.
Yep.
I think Chris Olave, not just in the Saints, but in the scope of the entire NFL, is such an underrated player. Like, there are so many narratives about him that are just not true. First and foremost being that he's injury prone. That's just not accurate. He played in 5 games in 2024 because he was dealing with concussions. But other than that, he's played 15-plus games in each season that he's been in the NFL. Right. And he's had 1,000-plus yards in each of those seasons through some really inconsistent quarterback play, through some honestly just some really bad coaching and head coaching. Like, Olave at 31 years old is a player that I really appreciate because no matter what, especially that receiver, wide receivers sometimes can ask for the ball, be divas, stuff like that, but he just shuts up and balls and produces every single time. You combine that with the youth at wide receiver that they went and got in the NFL draft, with the more mature Tyler Shuck, with Travis Etienne in the backfield, with hopefully a more healthy Alvin Kamara, who, by the way, has had such a good attitude about that whole thing. We could talk about that later if you want, but I feel like the offense is just going to be more explosive because of the maturity of Tyler Shuck and Kellen Moore going into year 2, but also because how much of an emphasis they've made that in the offseason.
Now, when you start to think about the changes here in this past offseason that really made the huge difference, you got to look at the running back room and bringing in a guy, bringing in a guy like Travis Etienne. How does he change the dynamic of the offense, right? We're so used to seeing him in the Jacksonville uniform and really helping out Trevor Lawrence, but now he's in the Saints offense with an open-minded head coach. What changes, like, how does the dynamic change in the Saints' offense with him now?
I think it just makes it more unpredictable. Like, that's hard to answer, and that's the most exciting way to answer that question. Like, Kellen Moore is going to have a lot more variety. You'll have Alvin Kamara and Achane who have somewhat different skill sets, but hopefully they can plug in like a Devin Neal if he gets healthy. Estime between the tackles was awesome towards the end of last season. I think he'll definitely have a role on the team. And also all the tight ends they have. I mean, bringing in Noah Fant, Jawan Johnson's looking up as a player. They get Oscar Delp in the 3rd round. Like,
super excited.
It just seems like there's a lot of potential for a lot of creativity in the formations, like creating a lot of mismatches. And I think that's part of what made Sean Payton so great. Like, the Saints didn't always have the most talented skill players on offense, but he was really good at just giving a lot of different looks and being unpredictable. I think with the additions that they made with Achane, with Noah Fant, who's a veteran tight end, the Saints are going to be just a lot less predictable on offense this year, and that's really exciting, I think.
Majority of the time, my job is not just to come here and tell you guys my life experiences. A lot of times, my job is to sit here and remind you of what we do have compared to what we don't have. Every day I sit in this chair and we talk about the Saints, I want to remind you guys about Devon Vele. Devon Vele had 5 touchdowns last year inside of 15 yards. Those 5 touchdowns came inside of the 15-yard line. And for the average fan, that is the red zone. I am excited about Vele coming back. I know we brought in the rookie first-round pick Tyson. I know Polk has shown flashes in OTAs. I even understand that Lance is 6'4" and runs a 4.4. But I want to remind you guys that Devon Vele at the end of the year, at the Dolphins game, away at the Dolphins games, he scores a touchdown late in the game. You know, obviously he gets out hurt. So I am honored to remind you guys about Devon Vele and the impact that he will have this year for the Saints. Mario, give us another player for the Saints that is not necessarily on everybody's tongue, but will have an impact offensively, defensively, special teams wise.
I think special teams is an interesting conversation. I like how they've kind of addressed that. Lorenzo Styles, who they drafted out of Ohio State.
Yes, sir.
If you do the deep dive on him, he played I don't remember the number, but 2,000 snaps or something on special teams, the most in the history of Ohio State. And you guys have watched the Saints for years. You know they've had guys like Justin Hardy, Chris Banjo, just war daddies on special teams that maybe don't show up in the stat book, but make plays that change games. I think they're trying to get some of that with Lorenzo Styles and some of these other guys. And on offense, I think Juwan Johnson is to be mentioned. Had a really good year last year, 800-plus yards, but has also come a long way as a blocker. I feel like you can just do a lot with him. And then Chase Young needs to be mentioned, y'all. I mean, Chase Young, when he's been healthy, has been an elite NFL defensive end. And the last couple of years in New Orleans, he has been healthy. So I think hopefully he can have an even better season this year with that continued good health. And he could be an all-pro caliber player, I think, in New Orleans. And y'all watched the defense. It was a lot different after he came back last season. So I think Juwan Johnson, Chase Young both have a lot of ability to break out and not be recognized just in New Orleans, but nationally on the NFL stage.
To y'all's point, I do believe, and if y'all just tuning in Inside the Trenches, we're joined by Mario Jerez. Be sure to follow him at Mario_Jerez_3. Great content. We talked about Saints Believes with him and Aaron Sumners. Y'all be sure to follow that. Great content. Really good, great guests as well. And then Mario be hooking us up, man, keeping us on the Spanish. Pelicans side, Saints, LSU.
Sure.
I mean, he's done it all. I got a really cool birthday gift from him when he came here.
Okay.
When I first met him through interview, right, through Diggs Magazine, back the Leonard Fournette days. It was 2016 article, man. That's cool. It's 10 years ago. That's a nice little 10-year birthday present, so I really appreciate that. The Saints have made the move that I wanted them to make in the draft, right? Well, second move. I was hoping to get a Ruben Bang or some of that nature, right? We wanted one of them high-end defensive players. But I'm totally satisfied with Jordan Tyson, bringing him in. I know we talked about the injuries. From what I understand, he did miss some of OTAs. And for minor things, you want to protect your asset.
Yeah.
We talked about the receiving core, Pope and OTAs, the way Vile finished last year. Chris Olave, to me, I always look at him as a 1B receiver, but like you said, he's been slept on, 1,000-plus yard seasons.
Second team All-Pro.
And making second team All-Pro. 1, 2, 3, 4th receiver. Which one is Jordan Tyson in the 2026 season?
Probably the second. I think that's the vision that they have for him. That's a top 10 pick, y'all. And if you kept up with the draft, it kind of looked like the Saints wanted to go defense. Downs was mentioned a lot. Bain was mentioned a lot. Mansour Delane got picked by the Chiefs, who traded up in front of the Saints and the Commanders to get him.
Yeah.
So
I called both of those.
And that's the second time that happened because I think we wanted I know now we wanted Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City.
Exactly. Man, I kind of hate having that conversation. Okay, Sean Payton, we get it. You almost took him. Get over it. Okay. Yeah. But just as an aside, I think they wanted to go defense, but Jordan Tyson just kind of fell in their laps, and Tyler Shuck was cool with it. And it's gonna, unfortunately, it's gonna be a negative connotation because you know, they're in shorts and a helmet right now. Of course, you're going to wonder why can't he be out there? It's going to be concerning, but he's just got to play in the games. And similar to the conversation we were just having about Zion and Ja Morant, if you give me 15 healthy games plus the playoffs of Jordan Tyson and Chris Olave, that's going to be a very competent wide receiver core. And we're not even talking about guys like Devon Vele and Lance and the auxiliary guys that can really have you cooking with gas. So to answer your question, that's the vision that I think they have for him. And if he's healthy, I think the Saints think that he can be like a 1,000-yard guy from the offset, from his rookie season, just like Chris Olave was.
That's tight.
Personally, I think that's a great question that you asked, brother. I just want to let you know on your birthday, you really locked in. What a great question.
Channeling your inner Pistol Pete.
There you go. There you go. That's
Hey,
great. I did
great
not know
question.
that. Shouts out to Pistol
But
Pete.
I'm going to put you on the spot, brother Mario. We have so much depth now, offensively and defensively, because I think cats are also forgetting about Emerson, the cornerback, coming over, 6'2", 200 pounds, coming over from Cleveland. Give me a sleeper, even if you want to double down on Styles, because he clocked a 4.27 in the combine, and he returned kicks. He'll return kicks on special teams, even though he's a free safety. Give me a sleeper on defense, on offense, on special teams coming up this year in your estimation.
I'll give you one on each side of the football. On offense, like I said, I really like Audric Estime. And if you kept up with him in college and even his rookie year with the Broncos, he had like 3 or 4 touchdowns. He's a really good between the tackle short distance back. And the Saints were really bad at short distance last year. I think part of that, honestly, if y'all want me to be real, was just Taysom Hill being a little bit washed. Like he was really good at that the last couple of years, but last year, even just out of the Wildcat and doing nothing else, he wasn't as effective. So I think Estime can really fit that role well, and you can even pull it out and do a play action pass. Like I think he's somebody who's going to be a very important player for the Saints on offense. And then defensively, I don't know if sleeper is the word, but I think Jonas Sanker is going to take a big leap this year.
Starting that slot corner?
Yes, I love him at that. Yeah, I love him at that position. And the Saints, before it was Dennis Allen, and Dennis Allen, not a good head coach, but really good at coaching up DBs. The Saints have always gotten a lot of really good value from that position. They had Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who came in, rookie contract. As soon as that was out, you brought in Alante Taylor, who was awesome for cheap. He got the bag from the Titans, which good for him.
$64 million.
Exactly. And now they're trying to do the same exact thing. And Brandon Staley has a really good history with that too, coaching up guys like Derwin James, who played similar positions. So I think Sanker's evolution as a player combined with Brandon Staley's coaching can make him as effective as a Chauncey Gardner-Johnson or as an Alante Taylor. And he's got to improve a little bit in coverage, but just his natural skills as a football player and as a defensive back, I think will make him thrive there. And I could see him have a really, really big second season.
Yeah, that's cool because when you look at the Saints' secondary, you kind of have, okay, man, we draft this guy. Well, you could put Styles there too. Oh, well, man, you got him that he played last year. Then, all right, we draft this cornerback. Who's going to compete on the edge? You know, we talk about T.J. Hall from Missouri. We get him in the 7th round, right?
Yeah, and also Kool-Aid McKinstry. I just, you played football. I don't claim to be the biggest like X's and O's like scheme guy, but I think people really overthink it with Kool-Aid McKinstry a lot. Down the stretch of the season, he got so much better in man-to-man coverage, and they picked on him a little bit in the beginning of the season, but I've really seen the growth and maturity from him, and I think combined with another offseason, he can really take that step to be a shutdown corner this year, or at least a really good, effective number 1 cornerback, and that's somebody else who I think will kind of break out this year.
And if I can interject, I want y'all to think about a guy named Justin Blackmon that has come back to this team. He got hurt early in the season, I believe the first game, and in preseason, and it was just a shoulder. So he's been back healthy, and what that does is it gives us 2 veteran safeties on that back end.
Good point, yeah.
That's why we were able to move Sanker, which was a rookie next to Reed last year. So now Blackmon is back, and remember, Blackmon is a part of that Staley's defense, and he's kind of like a chess piece that Staley knows how to move him around. So I want y'all to keep an eye on Justin Blackmon as well.
He didn't touch none of the season. I don't think he played no preseason games. Right. All right, we got about 4 minutes here left. I got 2 questions. One is a 2-part question for both of y'all, and the last one I got for you, Mario. Looking at this room, Right, I'm looking at this running back room. Estimate, you made me think of this question. I didn't have this on the script when you mentioned estimate between the tackles, right? I seen that. That looks very familiar. Elusive backs. Developing. This looks like the Super Bowl running back crew. Think about
Kind
it.
of,
Like,
yeah.
It does.
Shouts out. I've been training Deuce McAllister's son.
Shouts out
Caleb
to Deuce.
McAllister. Big ups to him. But I mean, Alvin Kamara's kind of in that role, and then you got Reggie Bush, NTN, and then you had Lionel Hamilton. You had
Mike
Bell,
Bell, yeah.
Mike
Bell,
Bell,
Richardson.
and that's what estimate. And we keep forgetting about the leading rusher in Kansas State's
Neal.
and Neal in their history. So the room looks. You want to be able to have consistency. So y'all agree with that? Y'all
Yeah,
can
yeah.
show
Not
us?
only do I agree, I think they really considered cutting Alvin Kamara for that reason, and they ended up not doing it. But I
Right.
think they like so much what they have in the running room, to your point, with so many different skill sets, that yes, if all those guys stay healthy, you have a lot of variety at that position.
We had
Well,
5 running backs, bro.
Yeah. Well, last week I was in the room with Mickey Loomis, and I almost alluded to that conversation, but I wanted to hold it to him coming in on Inside the Trenches. But my question is to you. Well, my statement is, you guys, don't count out Miller. Don't count Miller out in that room.
Okay, all right. I won't count him out. I'm just peeping G, but I'm not gonna count him out. But he's I'm not gonna say he's the weakest link, but he kind of does look like the weak link. But I understand the estimate thing. Him between the tackles, both of them.
He's a combination of everything.
I'm with you. CL, you might want to comment on this. I'm gonna have this question for Mario because I'm pretty sure you got something. We missing something here. All right, DeMario Davis gone with the Jets. We bring in Caden Ellis, Pete Warner. Am I saying that right?
Yeah,
Caden
Pete
Ellis.
Warner. Yeah.
And we bring in Caden from Atlanta, right?
Okay,
All
nice.
right, yeah. I see you boy with the Jets now.
Shouts out to Coach Glenn.
There you go. There you go, a former Saint. Mario, grade our linebacker room. Is it an A+ linebacker room? A C-? Where we at?
I think it's like a B. I mean, Ellis is a little bit of a different skill set than DeMario Davis, but I think it's just leadership. Like, somebody has to step up, and because they're calling the plays. Like, that's a very important position in terms of getting everybody else lined up. And there's a lot of potential there, but aside from Ellis, not a lot of like quality NFL experience, right? So nobody's gonna replace DeMario, just one guy, but they collectively try to kind of do it.
Don't sleep on Ellis. He's a better pass rusher than Davis was. He gets home to the quarterback. He's more versatile. He can play the edge, the middle, and the outside. And think of the durability and the dependability of a Warner in that position. Don't sleep on those guys.
And Stoutsman too. Stoutsman needs to refine himself a little bit, but he plays like his hair is on fire. He's got serious
That's my
potential
guy.
as like a thumper linebacker.
Because you got 2 guys, right? So you're rotating those guys. You got those 2 guys, so that's real. Nah, this is great. I'm glad y'all brought up the points y'all made about the linebacking crew. Gives me a B is a really decent grade. And man, yeah, bro, I'm excited to see this team come together because the defense have been there for a while and it's been rolling.
I also would like, since we have a few seconds left, I would also like to talk about the versatility of the defensive linemen. Wilson coming over, the second overround pick of the Raiders. He's getting a second chance here in New Orleans. I think that's gonna hold very important for us moving forward in our rotation.
I think more the interior. Broughton, the rookie from last year that got hurt like the
Texas.
second game. Him and Christian Williams. If they can stay healthy, combined with Granderson, Young, Can, the outside
Breeze.
rushers the Saints have, you could have a really good D-line.
Yeah, well, we rolling, y'all. I'm excited about this season. I think we got good looks from the Saints, LSU, Tulane's looking good with Coach Hall, and hey, man, we this is just Pelicans. We're looking for the newness here. And look, y'all, once again, shouts out to all of y'all for the birthday wishes. Big ups to our guest Mario Harras for joining us, our interim host Chris Ponce for doing his thing today, talking a little FIFA with us. Big ups to my co-host CL, UP Tobi. Shouts out to our engineers doing their 1-2. And our sponsors, baby, Health Nut System, Conquer Sports Pros, and get Gordan. Get it done, baby. Yes, indeed. Look, we're going to be back here next week, next Monday to be exact, same time, same place. It's definitely one of your love to have y'all with me. And, yeah, we'll go ahead and get this show here wrapped up. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of the birthday. Hopefully they left me a little bit of cookie cake left. It's Inside the Trenches, baby. Y'all enjoy y'all week. Have a blessed one. It's gone? Hello, somebody.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Big Face.
Thank y'all,
Thank
man.
you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're right, man.